Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Steelbook Obsessed. My name is Jake, and just like I did earlier in the year, every 3 months or so, I'm going to update my list of my favorite physical media releases of 2025. I have seen 65 releases that have come out this year. Say what you will about if that's a lot or a little. I try to watch a movie a day over on my Letterboxd account. I have like 205, 210 movies logged over there already. And I have whittled down the 65 physical media releases that I have seen down to the top 25. There are some newbies in this list because when I made the last one in March, I had only seen 30-ish movies. And I'm showing you all of the movies now. Here is the stack. This is what I do. I'm not trying to show you any of the titles, but you might notice some of these boxes, maybe. Hide them. There we go. Okay, good. I have them listed so that they are going in sequential order from 25 down to 1. You know, that's how countdown lists go. I can recommend every single one of these releases. There is a list over on my Letterboxd where I rank all of them if you want spoilers and you don't want to watch this video. But you should watch this video because I'll go a little bit more in depth. But you can see some of the ones that did not make the top 25 list and ones that I wouldn't recommend at all. But if you like this type of content, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. It'd be very much appreciated. And like I said, I'm going to put one of these out every 3 months or so and just see what the best physical media release of the year is so far. Let's start with number 25, because this is a movie that I had not seen, but I've heard good things about. I'm trying to watch 50 foreign films this year. This is one of my favorites that I've seen so far, and this is the 4K movie of Delicatessen from Severin Films. This sucker not only looks great, because it looks absolutely sharp and stunning, but it has 3 hours of special features. Some of them are archival, but I'm still happy to have them because, again, this is the first time I'd seen this movie. This is the first time I had owned this movie on physical media, period. So it has the making of Delicatessen. It has interviews with the director, with one of the co-directors, excuse me. It has the tale of Terry Gilliam presents Delicatessen, an interview with Terry Gilliam, which is obviously amazing. And yeah, love me some Terry Gilliam. One of my favorite special feature making of documentaries is The Hamster Effect. That's on the 12 Monkeys disc. This making of is also very, very solid if you have not seen it. Highly recommend this movie. Again, I'll showcase all of my Letterboxd reviews over here as well. If you've not seen Delicatessen, it's a good one. And I think you'll have maybe kind of sort of a good time. It's from one of the directors of Amelie. That's what got me excited about it. Does not have the same vibes that Amelie kind of puts out there, but direction wise, you can see some Amelie, it's through like an Amelie lens a little bit. But there's my number 25. Number 24, just above it, and I could have went back and forth between 25 and 24. We have Jackie Brown from Lionsgate Limited, the 4K release. I liked the packaging on this one a little bit better than I did for the standard release that I had for Delicatessen. Lionsgate Limited, people, they continue to make great looking steelbook releases. Love this thing. I love the transfer on Jackie Brown. It has, out of all 3 that came out, the Kill Bill 1 and 2 and Jackie Brown, this is my favorite so far. And this is the only one out of those 3 that made the top 25 list. All the archival special features that were on the old Blu-ray made it over to this release as well. I just think, as a package, this is a little bit of a stronger release than Delicatessen. But again, this movie is phenomenal. One of my favorite Tarantino movies. It has been for a very long time. Very excited to see this get the 4K treatment. Thanks to Lionsgate Limited and for the Steelbook. You can also get just the standard 4K slip as well, if that is the route you want to go as well. I think there's still copies of Jackie Brown. I don't think this is sold out. I think the Kill Bills have been. I can pop it up here to see if it's still in stock or not. But if you are a fan of the movie, I do believe that the 4K is worthy of the upgrade. So now, number 23 and 22 are tied for me for the same reason. It might be a little bit low on my list of things because I really love these movies and I'd never seen them before. But number 23 and 22, we have a fistful of dollars, and for a few dollars more. I did not think I was a Western guy at all. These have started to change my mind a little bit and have made me a little bit more open-minded when it comes to blind watching from that genre. I always thought it was all going to be a lot of like the samey stuff. Like you watch one Western, you've seen them all, that type of thing. Both these movies are absolutely phenomenal. Had a blast watching both of them. The 4K transfers looked so good for movies that are as old as what these two are. The only thing that's holding it back for me, and you can say, oh, why are you doing this? It's not this release's fault. I'm gonna say it is. My region-free Blu-ray player broke a couple of months ago, and all of the special features on these releases are region locked to region B because they are on the Blu-ray. A good chunk of them are. There are some that are on the 4K, but as you can see, like all of this stuff is just on the Blu-ray disc, which absolutely stinks. I couldn't dig into all the supplemental materials that I wanted to. I can kind of go over some of this now. Also, I'm not a big fan of having the same artwork on the slip as I am the actual like box artwork. If you're gonna give me a slip, get some like differentiation in there. Again, the movie's great. The disc is beautiful release. We have some alternate artwork here as well. We got a book that I'll never read. You can kind of see when I go down my list that I don't have a lot of big chonky boxes. I'm not a chonky box boy, okay? It comes with a poster as well, just like all of these do. But like I said, 4K, Blu-ray, boom, boom, boom. They're great releases. Arrow Video consistently puts out some amazing releases. These overseas editions I got at themovieroom.com. If you want to go over there and pick these up, you can use my discount code SteelBook10 to save 10% off everything on their website. And there are a lot of these that you can get over at themovieroom.com. Again, with a fistful or for a few dollars more, same thing. I just wish it was different, a little bit different here. It kind of bugs me that it's not. But again, here is the artwork for a few dollars more. I think I prefer for a few dollars more, a little bit more than I did fistful of dollars. So I would do 23 fistful of dollars, 22 for a few dollars more. If you are a little bit skeptical to get into the Western genre, just like I was, I would give these two a shot. Whether it be, I also love this. I would not normally put these in the collection like this. But that image, and I cannot wait for the good and the bad and the ugly to go put on this side. It's going to look so nice. It's going to mess with my OCD putting everything in alphabetical order, but for that image alone, it's worth it to me. 23 and 22. Number 21 is also a 2-movie collection of sorts, another Lionsgate limited release, and this one, out of all the movies that they've released, has really surprised me the most, because I wasn't going to put out a separate review video of this physical media release until I started watching it. And that is the Den of Thieves collection. This one kind of blew my socks off. This is the first release from Lionsgate Limited that had exclusive Lionsgate Limited special features, and I'm such a huge fan of that, putting anything new special features wise on a release here. The concept for this box artwork is also kind of cool. It's the whole safe thing. The steelbooks themselves look nice. I kind of wish that there were slipcovers on these, but I digress. We have Den of Thieves, which looks so good. The transfer on this, one of my favorite transfers of the year, and no, I'm not joking, and I'm shocked that I'm talking about Den of Thieves being up there. Very cool. They also get the director back because he worked on the new transfer for this movie, and they talked about the process of how that went and how it's never looked better than this 4K. And then we also get Den of Thieves Pantera. Not my favorite movie, but I will say that the third act of this movie makes it worth watching just because of kind of the hijinks that occur. Kind of threw me for a loop a little bit, made me enjoy the movie that much, actually at all. The first 2/3 of this movie a little bit rough. The final third made this movie worth watching, period. The inside has a whole bunch of empty safe vaults because, of course, they're robbing it. You got nothing left in there. The first movie's about cash. Second movie's about diamonds. That's why they are the way they are. Just cool conceptual stuff. Once again, Lionsgate Limited is always doing unique things over on their website, packaging wise as well. surprise of the year for me here. Den of Thieves collection right there at number 21, correct? 25, 24, 20, yes, 21. So now we're at number 20 already. We're flying through this. We're like 10 minutes in right now. I like this time. Very, very fast paced here. My number 20 movie of 2025 so far is a David Cronenberg release. He's very hit or miss for me in as a director. I either like his stuff or I don't like his stuff. And The Brood, even though I just said I like his stuff, don't like his stuff, I more like this than I don't, but this is kind of in the middle for me of his filmography. The main reason why this release is on here is the transfer is gobsmackingly gorgeous. One of my favorite transfers of the year. I just said that with Den of Thieves. I feel like that I'm going to keep on saying that, so I will stop saying that right now. The Brood shocked me with how gorgeous it looked, and of course it did, because Second Sight put this movie out. Second Sight consistently puts out the best 4K transfers out there. For me, period. It's them and Arrow Video kind of going back and forth with my favorites. Like, anytime you pop in a 4K, you know you're in good hands. Second Sight did a great job. There's also a lot of great extras on this release as well to sink your teeth into. And this movie is just a load. Is it a load of fun? It's a fun journey to go on to see what the heck is actually happening and going on in here. There's an early archival interview with David Cronenberg on here, which is very, very nice. We have interviews with a lot of different people from the movie. We also have interviews with Fangoria editors, like people that really like this movie, producing The Brood. Just, you know, Second Sight likes to put a lot of individual interviews on their releases. These are fun to listen to. Highly recommend The Brood if you are looking for a David Cronenberg. For me, it was a blind spot. For you, it might not be. If you like this movie, it's never looked better, people. My number 19 release of 2025 so far is a movie that I just got done watching. I was hoping it'd be higher, but I'm still happy it ended up on the list nonetheless. We have Lethal Weapon on glorious 4K. The reason why it's so low on my list is because I kind of wanted the transfer to be a little bit better. At times, this movie looks great. At other times, this movie does not look good. It looks high DVD, low Blu-ray quality for me, and that knocked it down a couple of pegs. I like the 4K slipcover version better than the actual Steelbook version itself. But you know what? The Steelbook gets the job done. Warner Brothers, I would say, out of the main studios, is probably doing the best job, in my opinion, when it comes to transfers and when it comes to giving you new special features on older movies. The 4K does include the theatrical and director's cut, which is always nice to see both of them on one disc, even though there's no Blu-ray in here. It is just a 4K. But what's cool to see is that they brought a lot of people back to give you a couple of featurettes. Featurettes are dying. There are a dying special feature, and they remind me of DVD days, of Blu-ray days. They bring back Danny Glover, and he is looking like he looks like he wants to be there, but he's definitely too old for this shit now. I guess we should just say that. But you also get a couple of other actresses from the movie itself. You get Shane Black coming back here to talk about the movie. Very, very fun stuff. They weren't long either. They're probably around like 5 minutes each. There's 2 of them on here. So not a lot of special features. I wish that there was more archival special features on this release. But at least what they gave us here was brand new stuff, and I'm very happy to have it. And that's part of the reason why it is number 19 on the list. The transfer, when it's great, it absolutely pops like crazy. And the special features bringing me new archival ones, reminding you about remembering Dick Donner, A Legacy of Inspiration. And I'm too old for this, the chemistry that became iconic. It stinks that Gary Busey didn't come back for this. That would have been fun. It stinks that Mel Gibson did not come back for this. Again, that would have been fun. But if you're a fan of Lethal Weapon, I do think this is worth the upgrade to pick up in your collection, because when the 4K actually does shine, it looks mighty, mighty nice, people. Number 18, going back to the Arrow Video side of things, I would say out of all of the boutique labels, just looking at my stack here, Arrow Video definitely pops up the most for sure. And number 18 is a movie that I don't like that much. So the fact that it's on my list I am trying to be the most partial judge that I possibly can. Doesn't matter if I don't like the movie, if I like the way the movie looks. I grade all of my all of my physical media on 3 factors: the TNA factor, the transfer in audio, the packaging, and the special features. If all 3 of those things absolutely shine, doesn't matter if I like the movie, it's gonna get high grades from me. And Jason Goes to Hell from Arrow Video did exactly just that. People have been loving this movie. When this came out, there was a flood of positivity to get this movie out on 4K. I don't understand it, but that's okay. If you're a fan of this movie, this is by far the definitive way that you should own this movie. It is absolutely great. You have the classic poster artwork right here as the reversible art. So you got to get the slip because the slip looks nice. And with Friday the 13th remake and Jason X in here all lined up, they do look very nice. The transfer also is very solidly nice in here. Again, you get 2 different cuts of the film. You get the unrated cut, you get the theatrical cut, both on 4K discs. You get a nice little booklet here as well. But the main reason why this release is getting so high on the list, number 18, is because of the special features that this sucker packs. You get Faces of Death, a brand new interview by special makeup effects creator Robert Kurtzman. You get Undercover Angel, a brand new interview with actor Julie Michaels. Mixing it up, a brand new interview with composer Harry Manfrini. The Gates of Hell, an archival interview with director, a whole bunch of people, with the director specifically. That is awesome. That documentary is phenomenal, honestly. And even though it's from an older release, to have it on this one as well, the 3 that I already named off were all the new ones for this release. The fact that it has old and new, even if you have that mega giant awesome Scream Factory Friday the 13th box set, to me, Jason X isn't worth the upgrade. Jason Goes to Hell is, and if you're a fan of the movie, you owe it to yourself to add this to the collection. Maybe wait, because Friday the 13th remake was randomly thrown on Amazon for like 16, 17 bucks one day. This should get around there as well, and if you see it pop up on a sale, well worth the time, well worth the cost, and well worth having in your collection. Next up, we have another Lionsgate Limited, and this might be the last Lionsgate Limited release on here. No, there's one more after this, but I could not have this in the collection because of a couple of reasons. King of New York. I'd never seen this movie before this 4K showed up, and Abel Ferrara is a director that I'm slowly watching movies in his filmography. Watched Bad Lieutenant recently, watched this recently. There's one more that I cannot think of right now. Miss 45 is coming out later this year. He's just a director that is raw and shows New York in a very unique, grossly tinted lens, and I enjoy that take. I think this movie is probably my favorite of all of the ones that he has made. Really enjoy this one. Great performances by Lawrence Fishburne and Wesley Snipes, and of course Christopher Walken. There's just a lot of good here. Transfer wise, this movie does look great as well, but I like the Steelbook. Steelbook looks nice. I really like the King of New York, just kind of font, it slides over here. I like the subway aesthetic that's on this Steelbook as well. But the main reason why, again, this is going up higher than Jason Goes to Hell is because there are some archival stuff in here for special features, but they brought back Christopher Walken for a new special feature in here. And if you look on the back, you could be far pressed to be like, where? Like, why aren't they promoting this more? The Sacred and Profane in King of New York. Flashback on King of New York, Christopher Walken. That's all it says right there. Flashback. I assumed when I popped this in that it was going to be just an archival interview with Christopher Walken. No, they get the man back. Present day Christopher Walken talking about his time on King of New York. And that is one of my favorite special features of the entire year so far. I could listen to Christopher Walken read the phone book and be completely entertained. Him talking about the movie that I also discovered recently and really enjoyed was just the cherry on top of this movie. If you're looking for like a blind buy scenario, I love blind buying, even though I get bit more than I actually like enjoy the movies that I blind buy. This is a great blind buy, and if you like this movie, highly recommend adding this to your collection as well. Here is King of New York. We're at number 16 now, and this is a movie that I just recently watched. Again, this is a movie that I had never seen before, and I'm kicking myself so hard. I'm ripping the throat out of my own throat because it took me 35 years of life to see Roadhouse. And my number 16 pick is the Arrow Video UK edition. I own this movie on Shout Select Blu-ray. I did not pick up the Vinegar Syndrome 4K. I'm kicking my own ass for that now because I am shocked at how much I love this movie. I'm shocked at how great this transfer looks. I think the packaging of the Vinegar Syndrome one looks leagues beyond better than what we have here at Arrow Video. But what we get here is still pretty solid. It's not bad at all. But what I really like most about this is that this 4K looks so good. And this sucker is loaded. This sucker is absolutely loaded with special features. And you know how I said that, Region B Blu-rays over from Arrow Video, they suck because they're region locked? The majority of the special features here are on the 4K, which is so nice. And I was very happy to see on this release. We get the feature-length documentary, I Thought You'd Be Bigger, The Making of Roadhouse, which is so solid. In fact, I did a review over on Letterboxd here. I will pop it up for you now. A conversation with director Rowdy Harrington, an interview with the director about the genesis of making the film. Pretty good for a blind white boy. The music of Roadhouse, a featurette on Michael Kamen's score, and blues musician Jeff Healey's performance in the film. Remembering Patrick Swayze, a tribute to Roadhouse's iconic lead actor on the Roadhouse, a featurette where cast and crew members look back on the film's success. There's a lot of greatness just on the 4K alone. Again, my region-free player broke. Not a fan of that. Not a fan of that at all. So I did not even get to see I Did It My Way, an interview with the second unit director. I'm probably okay. Henchman number 2, an interview with actor and stuntman. That would have been fun. That would have been a great one to go see. The stunts of Roadhouse, on the set archival behind the scenes footage. Like, there's a lot that I couldn't even sink my teeth into. I'm just grading this off of the stuff that I was able to watch, and what I was able to watch just on the 4K, I think is so solid. I don't know what special features were exclusively on here as opposed to on the Vinegar Syndrome, as opposed to on the Shout Select. The Shout Select wasn't really that loaded, if I remember correctly. But if you're a fan of Roadhouse and you don't own any of them, just like I did not, besides the Blu-ray, 4K looks phenomenal. Highly recommend. Again, another great blind buy. Everybody else has probably already seen Roadhouse. I'm shouting from the rafters how much I love Roadhouse, because nobody ever did that to me, and I don't know why to this day. I'm gonna keep on shouting because I love it. I am a Roadhouse boy, and now I can see why people were so upset about the Jake Gyllenhaal one, because they're not even the same thing at all. Still like the Jake Gyllenhaal one. Love the Patrick Swayze one. My number 15 physical media release of the year so far, again, kind of threw me back a little bit because I wasn't expecting this movie to look this crispy, this good. Again, be one of my favorite transfers of the year so far, but it is. That is the Arrow Video edition of Swordfish on glorious 4K. I love how on the slip they decided to go with the classic poster artwork. Looks so nice. And then over here, when we slide this sucker back, you get the amazingness that was that opening explosion shot, kind of reminisced in a different art style here. I really enjoy that. Everything on this release is on a 4K disc, which is always nice because you don't have to disc swap at all. You can just keep this in your player and go through all the special features to your heart's content, like I always do. You get a poster, you get a booklet, all that stuff I don't really do anything with. It's just kind of there. It's nice that it's there. I'm not going to do anything with it. Special features wise, this is a pretty solid one as well. How to design a tech heist, a brand new interview with production designer Jeff Mann, HBO First Look, Swordfish, a promotional behind the scenes featurette, which is nice to see that it's on here at all. The one that I liked the most though was Soundtrack Hacker, a brand new interview with composer Paul Oakenfold. because he was just kind of, I had no idea who this man was. And after this interview, I was a fan of the man, and I've listened to some of his music. And I love it when special features do that, especially when I would much rather have a documentary about the making of process, but then I watch an interview and I'm happy and it makes sense that the interview just focused in on one person. This is a perfect example of that. Really enjoyed this special feature. My number 15 favorite physical media release so far in 2025 is the 4K of Swordfish. But number 14 now, another Warner Brothers release, and it's a newer release, which they kind of have a benefit of the doubt. Normally when a new release comes out, you know it's going to look good because it's shot with the newest equipment. They have no reason for it not to look good. But Mickey 17 looks great. Looks really, really good. Looks so sharp for its 4K transfer, which I'm very happy to announce here, to let it be known to you. Some of these releases I have not talked about on the channel yet, so it's kind of nice to kind of go and chit chat a little bit about these movies. I wasn't in love with this movie. I liked it. It's not going to be one of my favorites of the year so far, that's for sure, but it's still one that is fun enough, that is tongue-in-cheek enough, that is talking about some political things enough. It does everything solid. It just doesn't do anything that knocks it out of the park, which with Bong Joon-ho, you're kind of expecting it to, which stinks a little bit. I still had a fun enough time with Mickey 17. Again, there's my Letterboxd review if you want to see more of my thoughts. But the main reason why this is so high on the list is A, because the transfer looks so dang good. B, I think the Steelbook is a solid one as well. But C, the brand new special features, they're all going to be brand new, but they brought a lot of special features to the table on here, which I'm always going to be a fan of. Behind the Lens, Bong Joon-ho's Mickey 17, Mickey 17, A World Reimagined, The Faces of Niflheim, I think? Niflheim? Even though there's only 3 featurettes, all 3 of them are very beefy. I would say probably 40 to 45 minutes of special features just on that alone, and you get the whole cast talking, interviewing, talking about their time on the movie. Very entertaining watch. If you're a fan of this movie, you should own it on physical media just so you can watch all of the goodies and have the best transfer possible. Mickey 17, number 14, not 17. I could have been cheeky, did 17 at 17, not getting that. Number 13 on the list. I still don't know if I should count this or if I shouldn't, but I counted it in my first list, and if nothing has knocked it off, I'm gonna keep it on here. It's so low on the list because it technically came out last year. This edition came out this year, so I'm just ranking this standard edition of Trickor Treat. But even though it's just the Slim Boy and it's not the big beefy box set, this release still packs a punch like crazy. And if you don't have this movie, this standard release is enough. I sold my version B that I got and just kept this because I was happy enough with this. I didn't need all the bells and whistles for Trickor Treat, even though I enjoy Trickor Treat very, very much. A very fun, not really gruesome slasher. It focuses more on like psychological torture than it does the actual like gruesome kills and all that, but still very entertaining nonetheless. Loved this movie, and if you enjoy the movie, you're going to want to see the new feature-length documentary that they made exclusively for this. Red Shirt Pictures knocking it out of the park. Synapse Films, the transfer looks so good. Lethal Weapon kind of went back and forth between okay looking and phenomenal looking. I love it when older movies are just consistently looking so good. And Trickor Treat absolutely does that. If you're looking for a hidden gem of an 80s horror movie, Trickor Treat is right up my alley. Hopefully it's right up your alley. Again, this artwork I love for the slip, and I love how there's differentiating artwork that you can swap out. Very, very good stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of great special features on on top of the feature-length documentary that was made for this release as well. You get the making of Trick or Treat, an all-new retrospective featuring director, a whole bunch of people. I won't even say those. You get In the Spotlight, a tribute to Tony Fields, which is more moving. I mean, if it's a tribute to a man that's passed away, you think it might be moving, but it's more moving because it brings in some of his family members in the situation, and just a very well done special feature that could have went a lot of different ways. There's Horrors Hollowed Ground, the filming locations of Trick or Treat with Sean Clark. I feel like those are just filler things to kind of throw in there. A lot of people love them. I am not the biggest fan of that stuff, but I know some people love seeing what locations looked like when they got originally released and what they look like in that new timestamp of 2020, whatever, when it was actually filmed. So if that's up your alley, go ahead. You have a music video. Love it when all these releases put music videos from that time frame that were on like a soundtrack of the movie. Always love that stuff. Yeah, just a very solid release here. If you don't own the big beefy box set, don't worry, don't feel like you missed out, because the standard release is good enough. Damn it. I sold mine just to keep this. So there it is. It should have been number 13, I guess, to be kind of horrified, but my number 13 release of the year is going for, this is a big beefy box set from a company that doesn't really put out big beefy box sets. That is Rumpelstiltskin, a movie that is fine, a movie that I wish I loved a little bit more. I really do not, but I love how TerraVision went big for this movie in particular. This seems like the perfect movie for this company. It comes with a lot of great extras as well. I'm trying to pour them out of the box as we speak. First up, you get the slipcover, which looks like a classic fairy tale of sorts. Very, very nice theming here. You open it up, you get the classic poster artwork, which I remember scrolling down the movie rental store, the mom and pop one that I lived like 15 minutes away from, that I rented movies from. And I also love the fact, kind of jumping back and forth here, they have a poster for Rumpelstiltskin, and they do kind of a throwback method to it. Up here, it says 2024 Ultra HD release, even though this came out in 2025. It was supposed to come out in 2024, kind of got pushed back a little bit. I love that, because on the actual poster, which I randomly found at my local hobby store, JCD and Hobby, and I sent it to Garrett from Born to Be Red because I knew this was going to be right up his alley. It says 1996, something, not Ultra HD release, maybe VHS release, something like that. But I thought that was so cool that they kind of little attention to detail like that for this movie. Yeah, TerraVision did a phenomenal job with this movie. Also, the transfer looks fine. Didn't blow me out of the water, but it still looked good. No complaints on that front. There's a lot of great special features on here. Making Rumpelstiltskin, the production design of Rumpelstiltskin, more Rumpelstiltskin recollections. There's like 2 to 3 hours of just B-roll footage of someone on a handycam filming the behind the scenes vlog style for like their own personal collection, just to remember. TerraVision got that, put all of that footage on here. Some of it is sprinkled in some of the documentaries that are on here, but to have all of that raw footage still included on this set, very, very cool. Something that you don't see that often at all. This release has the 4K, has the Blu-ray, has a soundtrack of the movie on CD, has 2 different booklets on here with a whole bunch of essays that you can read, and I'm not going to. Some of you people love your words, man. Give me the special features. That's what I'm going to give you points on. This sucker did both. This sucker gave you words to read and gave you video essays to watch. Very, very happy about that. If you're a fan of this movie at all and don't own this, you're crazy. It might be a little bit on the expensive side, but it's not even that expensive for everything that you're getting with this release. There's the other book. Sorry, forgot to show that off. TerraVision is doing a great job at not charging an arm and a leg on these box sets, which is always good. Comes with a fairy tale postcard as well. Just a whole bunch of very cool goodies. A weird fortune teller fish bag. Just a whole bunch of randomness that's thrown in here. I like physical goodies in my physical media, so the more the merrier for me. But yeah, again, if you're a fan of Rumpelstiltskin, highly recommend this release here. Such a well done job by TerraVision. I'm giving them their flowers. Rumpelstiltskin. My number 11 release, again, is a new movie, a movie that came out last year, new release this year on physical media. It's not Warner Brothers this time around. This time around, it's from Paramount, and everything about this I was just very, very happy with, very shocked, bringing me back to times gone by with a new release physical media. And that is for Smile 2, a movie that I enjoyed so much more than the original. I hated the first Smile, if I'm being 1000% honest. This second one got me on board, which I did not think would ever be possible. Here is the Steelbook. It's an okay Steelbook, if I'm being 1000% honest. The slipcover version looks great as well. You get a 4K, you get a Blu-ray. I like how they're promoting the actual artist. Who's it called? Sky Riley, that's correct. Just cool stuff in here. The inside, nothing crazy. Steelbook wise, it's fine. I am putting this high because of everything that is on the disc. And again, everything is on the 4K. You don't have to disc swap if you don't want to. But if you are just collecting for Blu-ray, you have that option in here as well. The transfer, again, looks solid because it is a new release movie. But the special features on here, to me, they go above and beyond, showcasing their thought process on making a sequel, on how they wanted it to be different than the first, but still not be a huge different swing from the first, kind of like Megan to Megan 2.0. It's not that big of a swing. It's still a horror movie in its essence. Ear to Ear, The Rise and Fall of Sky Riley, Behind the Music, A New Smile. All of this stuff does not sound like it's worth your time for watching. But even though they're featurettes, they're beefy featurettes, and all of them to me are worth the price of admission. If you are a fan of the movie, there's some about like the practical effect kills that go into play on here and showcase how they were done. That's the stuff that I want. That's the stuff that I'm missing. One of my favorite 4K pieces of this year is watching Sky Riley's concert. Just all the HDR going crazy on screen. Looks so good. If you're a fan of the first movie and you haven't seen this, I think it's worthy of the 4K, whether it be the Steelbook or the slipcover. I just think this disc is worth owning in your collection. If you're a fan of this movie, if you're a fan of the first Smile and haven't seen this movie, go check this out. Go get this in your collection because I enjoyed it quite a bit. But now we are finally at the top 10 releases of 2025 so far. Halfway through the year, these are my favorite releases that I have gone and garnered and added. And on it, all of these you would be happy with, but all of these top 10 are the ones I feel the strongest about. Duh. So let's stop wasting time and go on to my number 10 release of the year, and that is The Fall from Umbrella Video. This box looks great. Umbrella always does the box set treatment right. If I have been working with Umbrella for like three and a half years, something like that. I've always said that if you don't have a big beefy box set from Umbrella, just one in your collection, you're missing out because they consistently put out amazing sets of physical media like this. Again, you can just buy the slipcover version here, but if you want the big beefy box set, you can. This is a movie that I've been waiting. I've been craving for a 4K release of for the longest time. I didn't own this in my collection at all because the Blu-ray has been out of print forever. Directed by Tarsem, who also directed The Cell, who also directed Mirror Mirror. He's a very unique director, and the attention to detail and just directing eye that this man has is wholly unique. And this movie absolutely sings in 4K. Love the way that this movie looks so much. It's my favorite Tarsem film. It's just a fairy tale kind of put on screen, but a dark fairy tale. I would say this has very similar veins as like a Pan's Labyrinth kind of sort of. If you like that movie and you've never seen The Fall, they are bedfellows for sure. Our cousins, they're similar, very, very similar. Not 1,000% similar, but you get the gist. 4K right here. It also comes with a Blu-ray, and unlike Arrow Video has region locking on their Blu-rays. Umbrella Entertainment, even though it says Region B, I have never popped a Blu-ray in once that has not worked in my Region A player. All of their Blu-rays do work on every single player, which is always a great thing for me. If you want this or any other Umbrella, go over to their website. Use my discount code SteelBook15 to save 15% off of your order. I don't get anything from that code. It just gets you free shipping, more or less, because shipping from Australia to America or wherever you live is expensive if you're shipping overseas. That eats the cost of that. And I do recommend this release so much. It comes with an hour documentary, or not even documentary, an hour interview of Tarsem. And I could listen to Tarsem talk all day long because that man has been through a lot of things. That man has seen a lot of things. That man has quite a lot of stories to tell. And just the hour-long conversation with him was entertaining enough to not be super edited through. It's a great watch for sure. There's also a new interview with actor Lee Pace, who is the lead of this movie. Very good performance from him. Very good interview from him on this as well. There is The Making of an Impossible Film, a video essay. The Quest of Origins, Trauma, Cinema, and Storytelling in Tarsem's The Fall, a video essay. Once again, 2 video essays. Always love to see that. The Transfer is phenomenal. There's a lot of supplemental materials that you can sink your teeth into. You can get this big bad boy or just get this still very good slipcover version. This big beefy box set also comes with a hardbound book. Always love that when it comes to Umbrella Entertainment. Behind the scenes experiences and artwork, just so well done. You got your words for the people who like to read, but then you also have a lot of great promotional images and just behind the scenes images from the film, which are very cool. You have a whole bunch of art cards as well. I'm not gonna really, I'll go through all of them because, hey, you don't have to read these, right? You can just look at pictures and get the gist. And this also gives a good example of what Tarsem brings to the table when it comes to The Fall. But there we go. My number 10 release of the year so far is Tarsem's The Fall. This is like a dream release for me, just because I've been waiting so long for it to finally get on 4K, so I could add it to my physical media collection, because I did not own it yet. It was always one of those movies that I wanted so bad, and now I've got an awesome, beautiful box set for it. All of their box sets are numbered. I got number 1147 out of 5,000. These still have to be in stock. Highly recommend it, and a good blind buy, I think. I could see some people not liking this, if I'm being 1,000% honest. I love it, but I love it. My number 9 is a great example of maybe putting together pieces from other physical media releases and branching them into one to make the perfect physical media release, like the quintessential physical media release for Youre Next, Lionsgate Limited. It gives you the transfer from Second Sight Films and their special features, as well as all of the special features that were in just the standard, in fact, I think I have it right here, the standard Blu-ray release. I have the Steelbook, the Bloody Disgusting Steelbook right here. All the special features that were on this, the amazing transfer that was on the Second Sight. I've talked about this release already. I did a video on this release already. Very solid. Transfer looks stunning because it's from Second Sight. I would suspect a few more of these from Lionsgate Limited, because there are some movies from Second Sight that are Lionsgate titles, and I'm okay with that, because if you don't have those in the collection, you can get this. If you have both of those in the collection already, you don't need this. But I do love, again, Lionsgate are the masters when it comes to steelbooks. If you haven't seen Youre Next, fast forward 30 seconds, spoilers for the movie Youre Next, or maybe I don't even have to showcase out the spoiler. they do another fun flippy thing when it comes to their slipcover. So don't worry about fast forwarding. But if this is the front, if you flip it over to the back and you put this down, it shows you who the villains are of the movie, I guess I can say without going into spoilers, which is just a cool thing for Lionsgate to do. I don't know. This movie is very, very fun. If you've never seen Youre Next, a very I guess fun. It is a fun home invasion flick. Very solid movie. Like that movie quite a bit. Number 9 is Youre Next. But now going into number 8, we have another Umbrella Entertainment release. The last Umbrella in this stack were saved for my top 10. This one, holy God. This one, breathtaking 4K transfer. The main reason why it is this high up. A movie that was stuck on streaming services owned by Amazon Studios, so just stuck on Prime. The only way to get this 4K is from Umbrella. You were never really here on glorious 4K, and dear God, is this transfer glorious. This top 5 transfers of the year for me so far blew my mind wide open, and a quintessential example of why you should own physical media. You stream this movie on Prime. I did that right after I watched the 4K. Not even close. Not even close. Just the bit rates aren't doing this movie justice. You have to have the 4K disc to stream physically. It makes a huge difference, especially when you're upscaling to 4K, watching it on the OLED. It looks so freaking good, and this movie is so freaking good. There are some special features on here. They're fine. They're not long. It's like 15 minutes of special features. You get Wilderness of the Lost Soul, a video essay by Bryn Tilley, interview with the music supervisor, and then radio interviews, which I didn't even care to say anything about. The packaging for me, the transfer for me, are why this movie is so high up on my list. Again, you have a Blu-ray. Don't even pop into Blu-ray. Just watch the 4K, because you're in for a treat, my friends. Oh my God. I'm gushing, and I know I'm gushing, but with Umbrella, their 4K transfers can be all over the place. I love Umbrella, but sometimes their 4Ks aren't as strong. Here, one of my favorite 4K transfers of the year so far, so I'm going to be singing from the rafters about this 4K transfer. This edition also comes with the book, also comes with art cards. I guess I should showcase off some of the art cards. Boom. If you've never seen this movie, Joaquin Phoenix is a hitman of sorts. He's trying to save this little girl in this circumstance, and it's just spellbindingly told, and such a unique movie. It's a hitman movie, but it's so artfully done, but not stupidly it's not Mother. It's not like Darren Aronofsky's Mother artfully done. It still has a narrative. I don't know. It's so good. I love this movie. This edition, I got number 307 out of 2,000. There still might be some of the big collector's editions left, but again, I am saying that you should own this movie in 4K. This would be enough. Just having the slipcover in the collection, such a good, and there's spot gloss on the slipcover too. Such a great 4K transfer here. You were never really here. My number, what, 8? My number 8 release of the year so far. Number 7 is one that just recently came out, and my only Vinegar Syndrome of the stack. And there's a very good reason for that. I have Dirty Work right here. Yes, the hairy belly and everything. Like, that's not doing it a lot of favors, but what a reason why I love physical media so much, and it doesn't happen often, is that sometimes a company can pour so much love and care into a movie that they obviously care for, and sometimes give you a cut of the film that has been lost to time. And Vinegar Syndrome did exactly this for Dirty Work, a movie that I'd never seen before this release. The first time I watched this movie was on 4K, and yes, the 4K looks okay at times. Vinegar Syndrome, again, is kind of all over the place with their transfers. Some of the shots, like there's like a nighttime shot where they're reminiscing and Artie Lang's peeing. That did not look great. And usually nighttime scenes look good. This one really didn't. But I give this release so much kudos because it put together, by looking at time codes of different archival footage that they were able to find, the dirtier cut that Bob Saget always wanted, that Norm Macdonald always wanted released. There's a very cool button to the documentary on this release that after all the credits roll, there's like a phone footage of Norm Macdonald saying, yeah, I wish the dirtier cut would get a release, a physical media release. Just, he made that happen. Vinegar Syndrome made that happen, and that's so cool. And the documentary is great. Even though Norm isn't with us, even though Bob Saget isn't with us, even though Chris Farley isn't with us, you still get a lot of like the creative minds from like the 90s and 2000s of Saturday Night Live who were in this movie as like some homeless people, which is very, very fun to watch for me as an SNL nerd. I could watch that stuff and eat it up all day long. This release, and not only do you get the dirtier cut, which is on 4K to watch, boom, you can watch the theatrical or dirtier cut, excuse me. There's also a third version that you can watch. I tried. I could not watch it in the DVD VHS quality that it was in, but it's still cool that it's here for people that want to have it. I'm trying to find it on here. The 2-hour assembly cut of Dirty Work. Yeah, even the dirtier version is like 90-ish minutes. It's a 83 minutes, excuse me, 83 minutes long. So to go from 83 minutes to 2 hours, like if you're a huge fan of this movie and there's an extra 35 minutes of footage that's like a whole new movie for you to learn and watch and sink your teeth into. That's what physical media to me is all about. Packaging be damned, because shame on you, Vinegar Syndrome. Like, even after watching the movie, the hairy aspect of this man is not his front, it's his back, and it never looked like this. So this is pretty bad. This is pretty terrible. It also comes with a book that I've honestly not even opened yet. Boom, boom, boom. You get some things and some stuff. It's a book. Just for all the love and care that Vinegar Syndrome put into this movie particular, it's a good stamp of approval that Vinegar Syndrome often puts on their releases. I think this is a great quintessential example of them doing just that. The documentary is great. There are so many just one-off interviews that they of course use to make the documentary, but they also, it's got to be 10 people. They brought back Kevin Farley, I want to say his name, Chris Farley's brother. They brought back all the writers. You can watch individual interviews from them, and I was a little skeptical when I popped those on, but all of the interviews that they talk about are not from, nothing that they talk about is actually from the documentary. It's just extra stuff that Vinegar Syndrome put on here for you to watch. It is great. David Koechner also comes back to talk about his part and Norm and all that jazz. He gets a little bit sentimental and teary-eyed talking about him. A great release. My number 8 is one of the reasons why I love physical media. Dirty Work on 4K, baby. Another reason why I love physical media is because sometimes movies that are so old have never looked better when they get put on the 4K transfer, the 4K format. That's the word I'm looking for. And the quintessential example for me so far this year has been Dirty Harry. This transfer looked so good. There's one scene that to me was not great. It was pitch black in the tunnel. Everything else here, gobsmackingly gorgeous. I loved this movie. I'd never seen Dirty Harry before. This in particular Steelbook is one of my favorite Steelbook releases of the year so far, just because of the art style that they chose for this release, both inside and outside. Like, this sucker just looks good. Everything is on the 4K. There's no Blu-ray. Again, unfortunate for all you Blu-ray collectors, but the 4K has some great special features on it as well, including fellow content creators. There are too many movies. It was so fun to kind of go through the special features and see, oh, they're on here. That's awesome to see. I love to see that. I love to see some newer school people that I already watch get thrown in the mix on special features. More on that to come, I guess, on a later video from me, but I want more of that in the future. But there are so many special features on this release, crammed onto this 4K as well. 5 featurettes. A lot of these are old, but the fact that they are on here, again, is another reason why I love physical media. Everything that I can sink my teeth into about a movie that I love, give it to me. Give it to me and let me pick and choose which ones I want to watch. Generations and Dirty Harry, Lensing Justice, the cinematography of Dirty Harry, American Masters career retrospective, Clint Eastwood Out of the Shadows, Dirty Harry's Way, Dirty Harry the original, 2 documentaries, Clint Eastwood, The Man from El Paso, Clint Eastwood, A Cinematic Legacy, Fighting for Justice. This sucker is jam frickin' packed, and I think it was like $20. That's the cheapest I found this sucker. For $20, you can't ask for anything more, in my opinion. Yes, 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 Dirty Harry. Again, a Warner Brothers release. I don't know. Oh, there is another Warner Brothers movie to come. So far, hands down, my favorite major studio putting out physical media releases because they put so much love and care into them, and I love to see it. But we're going back to back. We're going back to back studio releases. My only Universal release, and it kind of shocked me that it's so high up on the list, but I could not put this on here. This is a number 5, no less. We're at the top 5 now. I was shocked at how I knew Wicked was going to look good. And yes, it's weird for me to put Wicked on a release like this, but I'm doing it. Wicked looked phenomenal. It's a new movie. I knew it would. The main reason why it's on here, and again, I had the slipcover version, very sparkly, looked very, very nice. This steelbook also looks very, very nice. You get artwork on the disc. All that stuff is great. It's solid. They went above and beyond when it came to their special features game. Shockingly in depth, and not even about the making of, even before that occurred, like the casting process and them filming, like, hey, you got the role type of things. Like, they went so thorough into every ounce of making this movie. Made me so happy to see. You have no idea. And they were so greatly edited too. Like, you don't get physical media special features like this anymore. And whenever I do, I have to shine a spotlight on it. That's why this is so high up for me. By far, for a studio release, this had the best new, well-crafted special features that I have seen. Making Wicked a never-before-seen look at the immersive worlds of Oz. It says feature commentary. Like, again, on the back here, they're not selling that factor at all. But there's like 3 different types. Like, Making Wicked is broken down into 3 different areas of how they made the movie. If you like Wicked, I'm assuming you own this movie already. If you own this movie already and you've not seen the special features, by far do so, because they went above and beyond. And I am so happy that they did. I liked this movie. My family liked this movie. Cannot wait to see Wicked for Good in November. And yeah, just very happy that a studio is putting that much time and effort into their special features. My number 4 release is from a boutique label that always goes above and beyond when it comes to their special features, when it comes to their transfer. They had a little hiccup with this one, and that's unfortunate. But I don't think that hiccup in the grand scheme of things is a huge deal. And it's not enough of a deal for me to really justify it like being exiled off the list. My number 4 release is The Cell. And I know that there's like 15 seconds of repeating footage in here. For me, not a deal breaker at all because of how gorgeous the transfer looked. And again, we're talking about Tarsum. This is the first time I had ever watched The Cell, was on this 4K release. Tarsum had an hour interview on The Fall. He also had an hour interview on The Cell, and I think his special feature talking about making The Cell was so just informative. And it felt like you were, not only did it feel like you were sitting with the man, just him talking straight to you, it was intellectual enough to where you were watching it and it felt like you were in like an auditorium in a film theory class, and he was just talking to you about his experiences. It was great. Like this whole release is so dang solid. There's also interviews with the editor, and the main reason why this movie looks as good as it does is because this movie got thrown away from Warner Brothers, and he had the only digitized copy or 4K copy that was in existence. That's why this is here. Another cool example of how when people that are trying to make these go out and talk to the right people, they can make magic happen. And again, it stinks about that 15 seconds. To me, not that much of a deal breaker. I already made a review video on this, so if you want more information, you can go look. But my number 4 release is The Cell. Such a good release. My number 3 release was my number 1 release of the year when I made this back in March. And again, I've already made a video going over this. One of my better videos that's performing well on the channel so far. Inglourious Basterds on glorious 4K. Big beefy box set from Umbrella. I was scared to watch the 4K transfer. I owned it in the collection. I never watched it because all of the content creators that were talking about it at the time kind of scared me off, saying that it was a big pile of crap. And I rewatched that. It's not. This transfer also looks absolutely great. But there's 3 individual interviews in here that are phenomenal, and each one kind of deserves to focus on the individual and not kind of make it so that I felt like I wish that this was all put into a mini documentary of sorts. We have Blood Fiction, a new interview with special makeup effects supervisor Greg Nicotero, the legend himself. Very cool that he got to talk about his time with Inglourious Basterds. What Would Sally Do? A new interview with editor Fred Raskin, which is so informative, especially if you know anything about Tarantino, and the editor portion, the relationship he had with Sally Menken, and then how he kind of had to come in and fill her shoes. Such a good interview. And then we also have Doomstruck, a new interview with actor Omar Doom, which is one of the bastards. I don't know if there's an image of him on here or not, but he's the one that was kind of with he was with Eli Roth, like the camera person, towards the end of the movie, and he's lived a heck of a life. He was a very informative and entertaining interview as well. So having those 3 new interviews on here was great. There's a whole bunch of archival stuff that was on the original Universal release as well. You get some goodies and stuff. Just as a package, this release is so strong. You get a booklet, of course. You get a poster, of course. This is still very solid, and I suspect that this will stay in the top 10 physical media releases for me at the end of the year. But Inglourious Basterds right now is number 3. But yes, number 2 and number 1 are releases that I have not talked about yet on the channel at all. I was going to make a video about both of them, and I just watched them so late in the game that I didn't think I thought that time had already passed by on how relevant they were going to be if I talked about them. So let's talk about them now, shall we? This next one, Warner Brothers, and in particular, for me, this is the Steelbook version. The disc is great, but the Steelbook is what puts the glorious cherry on top for Constantine, because dear God, I'm hoping that this shows off on camera. The debossing on this release is next level. It just adds so much quality to this Steelbook release. Looks absolutely great. One of my favorite Steelbooks of the year so far, just because of that debossing all over the place. I had never seen Constantine before. That's why I took my sweet time with watching this, or without watching this movie, because I'm like, whatever. But I kept on hearing people say, you need to watch Constantine. It's a great looking transfer. I had to finally pop this in and see what everybody was talking about. And yeah, yeah, this movie looks good. This is probably, again, top 5 transfers. This is up there with You Were Never Really Here. This 4K absolutely sings like crazy. There's also new special features on here. They brought back Keanu Reeves. They brought back the director Francis Lawrence to talk about their time making this movie. Keanu has, in interviews past, and even in the ballerina junkets and stuff, talked about how he loves Constantine, how he wants to make a sequel to this movie badly. I feel like an older Constantine would be very intriguing, especially since I've seen the movie now. Francis Lawrence going back into like the dark devil hell tones that this kind of brings to the table would be entertaining. Would it make a lot of money? I have no idea, but I know I would be there opening weekend. If you're a fan of this movie, highly recommend this release. It's never looked better. There are new extras to sink your teeth into. There's alternate endings that you can go into, filmmaker commentaries on here that you can go. I never talk about commentaries because I never really watch them. I'd rather watch the movie for the movie and not have people talk about the movie while I'm watching the movie. That's always been my thing. But if you like commentaries, there's one on here as well. My number 2 release of the year is Constantine. But that brings us to the number 1 release of 2025 so far. And if anything beats this, I'm going to be 1000% shocked, because not only do I love this movie, I loved everything that was on this release. And I had to break my rule of not getting big beefy box sets from Second Sight, because I just thought the Nice Guys deserved to have the big beefy box set treatment. I was nervous about this movie rewatching it, because back when I watched it when it came out in 2017, 2018, somewhere around there, I loved the movie. But last Christmas I rewatched Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which I also loved, and I didn't love it as much in 2024 Jake's lenses. Happy to report that The Nice Guys is still killer. It's still an amazing movie. A movie that does not get made that much anymore, and that's a dang shame. At the intro card of this movie, there are like 5 or 6 different production companies that are no longer around that helped make this movie possible. And there's a reason why they're probably no longer around. And that's because this movie bombed when it came out at the box office, which stinks. Normally I don't like these big beefy box sets because they come in this digipack. I like the way that this digipack looks. I just don't like digipacks that much. This is good though, and I like the great colors that are in here as well. If you've never seen this movie, not for the faint of heart, I have to say that. Comes with a great big beefy hardbound booklet, just like a lot of the Second Sight big beefy box sets do, which is cool to see right here. Words for all you people who like to read and whatnot, whatever. It also comes, the character cards are very hit or miss with me, but these, the way that they're done as like character one-shots, I really enjoyed. I like them so much that spoilers, the Ryan Gosling one has been there the whole time. It's there. I like to have a lot of mustache guys behind me, so I had to add that mustache to the backdrop as so. Just very, very cool stuff. I should... Ooh, no, he's got a beard, not a mustache. Otherwise, I would have added Russell Crowe as well. Just very entertaining movies. Shane Black, it's his magnum opus, and I like a lot of stuff that this man has done. But the main reason why it's my favorite physical media release of the year is because of the way that the disc looks and everything that is included on the disc. The 4K transfer... It's hard for me to rank transfers because they all look stunning, like the Dirty Harrys, the You Were Never Really Here's, the Constantines. This is right up there, 1000% up there. Might be my favorite. This movie has never looked better. Again, Second Sight consistently puts out the best 4K transfers out of any boutique label out there. If you're a fan of this movie, you owe it to yourself to get this release. Knights in Tarnished Armor, a new interview with Shane Black, which is phenomenal. Loved that so much. He also, again, gave a little bit of tidbit on Lethal Weapon on that 4K. Goes into a lot more detail and is able to chew on a lot more meat on that nice guy's bone on this second sight release. Finding an Audience, a new interview with co-producer Ethan Irwin, which was very fun for me. Very random fun fact. I used to watch the movie Trivia Schmodown a lot, and if you're watching this and you know what that is, congratulations, we are now best friends, because I watched so much of that. Ethan Irwin was a contestant on there for multiple seasons. I knew he had something to do with the Nice Guys. Totally forgot about it until I rewatched this, and it was just fun to hear his 2 cents on everything. 1,000 Cuts, a new interview with the director of photography from Lethal Weapon to Nice Guys, which is a phenomenal video essay from Lee Singer. I want to give that person their flowers because, dear God, it talks about all of the other projects that Shane Black did, and how he definitely rejuvenized the buddy cop, if not just kind of cemented what that subgenre was, because there have been buddy cop movies before, but Lethal Weapon definitely put that subgenre on the map and had a lot of different people try to make movies because Lethal Weapon is so popular. Tried to take that crown away from them. Shane Black has always made amazing buddy cop, whether it is Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which I wasn't the biggest fan of, but the companionship between Val Kilmer and Robert Downey Jr. is delicious. And same here with Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling. It's great. Same with Lethal Weapon. Like, Shane Black has that secret sauce when it comes to the buddy cop genre. And yeah, The Nice Guys, I do believe, is his magnum opus. I'm very happy that his magnum opus has this amazing box set. My favorite physical media release of 2025 is The Nice Guys from Second Sight. Let me know what releases you would have on your list that I don't have on mine currently. I know that there have to be so many that I have not seen yet. So if you have any suggestions for me on which ones to watch, so when I do my next round of top 25 to add to that list, let me know so I can pop it in and watch it. As you can see, I got a lot of movies behind me. I have even more movies behind this wall. And if anybody wants to help throw some darts at what movies I should be focusing on, be highly recommended by me and loved, I will take them. I will grab at any recommendations I can get. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I'll see ya.